This is me popping in to start the vlog because it feels like a good time to do that. I haven't done any reading since last night. I'm about to head into work. It is my last day until the new year, so I'm very excited about that. So today's agenda, let's map it out. I feel like yesterday I mapped it out and I was successful. First I want to say, why is it every time a book is like nice and hyped and popular, like 7 Days in June, nothing but nice things to be found about it. Nothing but nice things to be found about that book on the internet. And then I post my little reading, it's not even a reading vlog for that book, but I'm like, oh, I don't know if it really worked for me. Like, I don't know if I'm really vibing. And suddenly, people in my comments are, I DNF'd, I didn't like it, I didn't see the hype. And it's like, where were y'all? Where were you? I mean, to be fair, like, I don't think anybody was reading 7 Days in June going, oh, Monty would love this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people read a romance and be like, oh, yeah, Monty is gonna really eat this romance up. I think he would really love it. So, like, I get it. Like, no one is reading romance thinking of me. But, like, where were y'all? Y'all could have saved me. Anyway, I think I am gonna finish it. That's fine. I think I am gonna finish it just to see if we actually get to the part of the book where it's supposed to be this like reconnecting, second chance at love type thing. I do want to see if we ever get there. And then I have to go to the grocery store. I know I just went grocery shopping yesterday, but there was a couple of things I didn't get because I didn't go to Dillon's. I was waiting to go to Dillon's until today. I think I cut that part out of the video, or I explained my reasoning, but like I cut that. I don't know what I cut out, but something about Dillon's got cut. But I will be going to Dillon's today because I didn't go yesterday on purpose. Last night I was technically a couple days ago. I work with one person, and so my coworker was like, "Hey, you should come spend Christmas with me and my wife's family." And I was like, "Bet." But now I have to like make a Christmas dish, and I don't make festive. I have like 3 recipes that I just recycle through. And so me and google.com are going to be trying to find a nice little festive holiday dish to bring to this holiday get together. So that'll be fun and exciting. Not really, but you know, it is what it is. I said, yes, I'll go. I might just find a nice little bottle of wine or something. I don't know. Anyway, nobody cares about, y'all don't care about that. So that is another reason I have to go to fucking Dillon's today, because I have to get ingredients for this little holiday festive get-together meal. Because I'm not gonna want to go next week. Next week, I'm very much looking forward to not doing anything next week because I don't have to go to work next week. So that's my plan. So I do want to do that. And while I'm at Dillon's, I'll probably listen to 7 Days in June. I also kind of want to start a 24-hour readathon tonight. I don't know. I try to have these videos like wrapped up and be editing by like 9-10 my time, Central American. I think some of these videos have probably gone up like later on the East Coast, but like, sorry, I don't live in that time zone, so I'm not gonna play by the rules over there. So I think if I start my 24-hour readathon from like 8 tonight to 8 o'clock tomorrow night, that'll be a perfect little encapsulation. But I did want to unhaul the books tomorrow. So I might not unhaul books tomorrow. I might unhaul them on Sunday. I don't know. I want to unhaul them before the weather gets nasty in Kansas, because I'm not trying to be on these country roads. I go to Half Price Books, and the nearest Half Price Books is in Wichita, and I'm not trying to be driving to Wichita in the fucking snow. No thank you. That's not what I want in my life. But I have to go because I have to get to work, and I've already spent too long talking with y'all. So, and it's only been 5 minutes. This is what I get for laying in bed for so long. But I'll check back in at some point this afternoon with more thoughts and opinions, probably about a book.
What is up, you guys? It is me. I'm back again with HBO Max in the background to end the vlog because this is just the new aesthetic, I guess. I literally, like, the audiobook just stopped playing, so I'm here to talk about 7 Days in June. I didn't get to A Flicker in the Dark because I didn't start listening to 7 Days in June until, like, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock. Life happened, okay? So, is there time in the day for me to read A Flicker in the Dark? Maybe. But then this vlog wouldn't go up, and I would feel like a liar. So, I'd rather lie about reading A Flicker. I have all weekend. Maybe I can put that in my 24-hour readathon. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about 7 Days in June, because this was stupid. It was a bad book. I don't know what book you guys were reading, but it was not the book that I was reading. I think that because I went into this expecting a romance, even though everybody and their mother told me not to do that. Although when you read the reviews, people talk about this being a romance, and it's just like, here's the thing. I think that Tia Williams does her best. I think that any author trying to execute this plot line, like it would be a reach. But also earlier in the week, was it this week? Might have been last week. Whenever I read The Good Girl Complex, I said that those characters are going to wind up on Investigation Discovery on an episode of Dateline, Snapped, whatever your drug of choice is. But these characters are going to beat them to it. Eva and Shane, they're going to beat them. They're going to beat those other characters. The white couple, these black people they're going to get there first. Maybe it'll be as part of like a marathon, because Shane and Eva they're going to murder each other. They're going to die. They're not healthy for one another. Anyway, let's back it up, okay? So if you watched yesterday's video, I gave you the rundown of the first 18%. So we meet Ava, who is the erotic romance author, and we have Shane, who is like the literary fiction gift to humanity. When we meet them, Eva is like in a rut, kind of. She's raising her daughter, she's living her life, but she's also 14 books deep in a series that she doesn't really want to write anymore. She wants to write literary fiction. We meet her at a literary conference. This is the kind of where the story takes place. Not takes place, but this is like where the inciting incident is. So Eva and Shane knew one another many moons ago for briefly at one of the high schools that Eva attended. Although there she was like Genevieve. I don't give a fuck what her name was. She's Eva. Anyway, so they briefly knew one another in high school, and they had like this really intense romance that we see played out via flashback, which I have to say didn't work. Like, if this was a movie and the movie was about like that week, it would be a good movie. But seeing like that was that week 10, 15 years ago, whatever, that was the foundation for the entirety of the romance. It was just a horrible foundation for the romance because it didn't work. Like, you're seeing one of them who was high out of her fucking mind because she's dealing with abandonment issues. She's dealing with like trauma related to her family, and she's got a lot going on mentally, okay? So she's dealing with all of that. So she's abusing drugs. Oh, on top of her like actual chronic pain issue that is kind of woven throughout the narrative until it's time for her to get her back blown out, and she's getting her back blown out, and then we're back to the chronic pain, which, like, more power to you. I don't have chronic pain, so like I'm not here to drag her for the chronic pain, but that part of the story just felt like it was very come and go. So she's high out of her mind, doing everything, self-harming, all of that bullshit, and then he is an alcoholic getting drunk. And so it's like these two 17-year-olds who are brain-addled, trauma bonding with one another, and I'm supposed to believe that this was like the foundation for a lasting relationship that lasted 15 years until their early 30s, and both of these people are so unhappy in their lives that they've never dated. We'll take it back. I take it back. Eva, like I told you guys in my first update yesterday, she was married. She had a daughter with this man. Only at the beginning of the book, he's like a villain, and then at the end of the book, he's like, oh, I'm happy that you're dating. I wish I could have been the man for you, but like I just wasn't in a point in my life where I was ready to be the person that you actually deserve, and like you just deserve everything. It was weird. It was like complete 180 for a character that we hadn't seen, and so it was like, why were we villainizing him if at the end of the book he was gonna say this kind of thing? And also her daughter. Like, here's the thing. Do I love a pretentious like tween child? Sure, but I felt that her daughter was pretentious because Tia Williams just didn't know how to write a child. Like, she was precocious, and she was like very intelligent and very well spoken, and like she was articulating herself in a way that I think isn't unreasonable for a middle schooler to do. I don't want to act like middle schoolers are not intelligent people who are incapable of being articulate. I think that that's incorrect, but I feel like it felt that she was that way for the narrative and not because like it was just a fun way to write the character. Maybe that's me being nitpicky, but also like so many aspects of this book just felt like very convenient. Like Eva is like constantly penny pinching, but then she goes like on this entire writer's retreat at the end of the book that doesn't make any sense, and she announces that she's not actually going to write a conclusion to this series, even though she's on contract for book number 15. and the book is due, like we know that like she's supposed to hand this book in to her agent or the editor or whatever at the end of this book. Like she has a week to do that, and then she goes to like this random Black literary award that like is cute that it exists in the world of this book, but like it's cute, but she's like, yeah, I'm actually not writing book 15 because I don't want the love story to end and I don't really know how to wrap it up. And it's like, the love story doesn't end just because you actually write a conclusion to a series you've been writing for over a decade. Awkward cut because again, the mic came unplugged. But I was saying I'm gonna wrap it up now. But so much of this book is just stupid. Like so much of the book, it just feels convenient and like just. My big issue is I feel that Tia Williams thought she was writing some like real literary masterpiece. This book and I feel like You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty are in the same boat. Both of these books think they're writing a literary well, I don't know if they think they're writing a literary masterpiece, but I think that they're trying to do too much. You know, they're doing both of these books are doing too much, and I think they both think they're excelling at what they are attempting to do. I think that both 7 Days in June and You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty really think that they're really tackling these hard topics. Like in You Made a Fool of Death, they really think they're going in on grief and like giving you this excellent exploration. And 7 Days in June, I think Tia Williams really thought that she was really delving into chronic pain and addiction and what it means to be in these like toxic cycles. But I think part of that is understanding that these characters are in a toxic cycle when they were younger, and then when they were adults, like that's the entire motivation for them to be together, because they had a really great connection when they were in this like really low point of their life, and there's no consideration into making that a healthy relationship, because again, this is another 7 days, and on Wednesday, like they meet on a Monday, and on Wednesday they're fucking. You know, like there's also, I feel like there were several times, especially towards the end, where I feel like boundaries are I don't want to say like boundaries are being crossed, because I feel like that's been something that's been brought up a lot, and it's just like not necessarily accurate all of the time. But there was a point at the end of the book where our main character was like, I really don't want you to come over, because mind you, they've only been back in each other's lives for 4 days at this point, and our main character realizes that her daughter is still home, and you know, for 4 days, like that's a little soon for you to like come over and like meet my daughter. And so then it's like actually, no, don't come. And he's like, no, but I want to come. And then she's like, no, I don't really want you to be here. And he's like, but are you sure? Like I could come, like I'm already on my way. And she's like, I guess you can. And then he's like, oh, are you sure? Because I don't really have to be there, even though I'm like sitting on your doorstep already. And it was just like very uncomfortable for me to read. And then there was like scenes between him and the daughter. And I'm like, you've only known this man for like 3 seconds, and now your daughter is alone with this person and they're bonding. And then there's like an epilogue where the book tries to like speed, like here's the thing, if the epilogue of the book had actually been what the actual story was, if we had eliminated all those stupid flashbacks and we had instead moved the epilogue into the main series of the story, and that had been able to explore, because the epilogue was kind of cute. I thought it was like foolish, because at that point I wasn't really into it, and the book ends and they're not together, and so the epilogue only exists to like actually make this a romance where our two leads are together and like in a relationship, or at least romance in like the standard typical definition of like a happy for now, happy for, you know, happily ever after or whatever. But like having the book end and your two characters are still broken up, I feel like it's a harder sell as a romance. So the epilogue exists to like put these characters together. But if the epilogue had been moved into the main core of the narrative and we'd actually seen the time, because the epilogue is like a couple of months and not another fucking 7 days for some bullshit thematic reasons. Again, like the 7 days and the 7 days and the parallel is something that feels very literary fiction. It feels like something that we are going to explore and dive into, and we just don't, because we just don't. And so the book just didn't work for me. I didn't read the same book that everyone else is reading, but it's okay. I'm gonna watch my bad, I hit the mic. I'm gonna watch them Chopped and End My Night with some happiness. But yeah, this just was not very good. It was not very good. Not very good. I don't recommend it. Please don't read this book. Read something else. Literally anything else. Go read, what was that book? The dating playbook. Is that what I read? In the Kenya vlog, the orange one by Farrah Roshan. Go read that. If you want black love, go read that. It's fun. It's light. It has a little bit of seriousness. That was a much better book. Go read that.